Paramshanti. How long does the sanskar last in the chetna? Look, chetna means consciousness. There are two things mentioned in our scriptures, Jad and Chetan. Jad means the five elemental physical body, and Chetna means Atma. So, how long does the sanskar remain in the Atma? Now, all the sanskars are in the mind, isn't it? We know about mind, intellect, and sanskar. Please note the sanskar is not in the Atma. Atma is basically power. Whatever is above the power is a layer called the mind. Inside the mind is the intellect, and inside the intellect is sanskar. So the mind, intellect, and sanskar keep changing in the human being according to the sanchit karma of many births, which is recorded in the causal body or the karan sharir, which gets reflected in the mind, and the different sanskars emerge. So the question here is why the sanskars in the mind keep changing. One is because of the present atmosphere, and secondly, based on the type of lifestyle we live in. In the material world, if the Atma is completely stuck in delusion and Maya, then the good sanskars will not come in the Chetna, or in the mind, or in the intellect. This will lead to the development of Mayavi sanskars. So, such souls with Mayavi sanskars, with repeated births and few births spent in Bhakti Marg, then in the current birth the soul will do certain amount of bhakti but will not attain the supreme knowledge. Why? Because the power would have been used up to experience the pleasures of the materialistic world. As a result, the knowledge will not be attained in the intellect nor in the mind. Such souls will not even go close to attaining the supreme knowledge. The current birth also the sanskars are recorded. Then, when the body dies, the same sanskars are taken away by the chetna. Outside the chetna, there is a layer of mind inside which the sanskars get stored and carried forward. Please note there is no recording inside the Atma. In the mind is your intellect, and inside the intellect is sanskar. The sanskars keep changing when the Atma leaves the body. So here comes the concept of Ant Mati Sugati. At the time of death, if the soul thinks about Param Atma, then his fate will be different. Though he wouldn't have remembered him throughout his life, but now since he has remembered at the end point, the sanskar of bhakti, love and devotion for God will emerge and will be carried forward by the soul. So in the next birth, the soul will remember that the previous birth went in vain as did not do bhakti, but in this birth decides to put effort to come closer to God and not to lead a materialistic life. This is what it thinks before taking birth. But when the soul takes the next birth, it forgets as to why it had taken the birth, because it gets trapped in Maya, attachment, and vices like lust, greed, and anger. If someone reminds it, then by remembering it, it does bhakti a little. So, in such souls, till when will these sanskars keep changing? Till when will they go on? Here we are not talking about one soul. There are many souls with many births. For example, there are such old souls which exist from Brahma's first parad, that is Brahma's first 50 years. So, in the cycle of birth and death, where will they go? The mind, which is in the outer layer of Atma, is where the sanskars are recorded. Now, the mind works based on the causal body. So, the causal body has to change. For the causal body to change, what has to be done? For this, supreme power is required. As a result, for the supreme power to be acquired, the knowledge of Atma Swarup has to be acquired first. By remembering the Parampita, we can become Atma Swarup. If the power is acquired, then the causal body will be charged. And if all the recording in the causal body is destroyed, then the mind becomes pure. Thus the soul will become Atma Swarup or Brahm Swarup and attain the Brahm Gyan. So the nature, the sanskars, the mind, the intellect and the subconscious state, all this is a matter in the path of Gyan. The path of Bhakti is totally different. In the path of Gyan, the knowledgeable soul tries to be in Atma Swarup state and attains the knowledge from Parampita. After this, it tries to attain the supreme power from the supreme authority, that is the Behad Ki Kala Ka Parampita. And as a result, the power charges the causal body. So this power not only charges the causal body, but also the supra-causal body and the supreme supra-causal body. Once these bodies are charged, all the recordings get deleted. The mind, the intellect and sanskars are completely washed off, and the Atma finally attains its pure state. So the consciousness has to be directed towards knowledge. Behad ki Paramshanti. Thank you.